So the markets right now are in a vertical move. Dow Jones is making a move up, but there's really something interesting happening with silver and gold right now, and also the mining stocks. And also, there's a possible warning sign coming with Bitcoin, and I want to share that with you on all the details. Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, let's get straight into it. I'm going to start off with the stock market first. Bit of an update there, what I'm seeing happening right now. Also then moving on to silver and gold, and then I'll finish off with Bitcoin and the warning sign that I'm seeing when it comes to Bitcoin. And again, guys, this is just a warning sign that we may be getting very, very close towards the top. You know what it's like calling a top in the bull market, right? Probably most of the time it's going to be wrong, but there is a bit of a warning indicator to say that there's a bit of weakness now forming into the markets, and I'll share that with you. Now, let's get straight into it. The Dow Jones is looking at right now we're looking at the Dow Jones, and it's starting to really make a big move up. I personally believe that now we're breaking to the upside. This is the start of the melt up phase. Now hear me out, okay? The melt up phase doesn't mean it's going to go up every day, but it can. The melt up phase could possibly be something like this, and then we get a pullback. Someone said in the comment section below yesterday, John, how do you know it's not going to pull back? Well, you don't know if it's going to. No one knows whether it's going to. If you're trying to pick a top and pick a bottom, what was that? Pick a top and pick a bottom. If you're trying to do that, then it's not a good thing. So if we're looking at the markets right now, we're either going to do this. We're either just going to keep going straight up like that to 40,000 possibility, or that we're going to do what the market likes to do, which is go for a run for a while, then have a pullback for a bit, then create another higher low, just like it did back here. We had a low, and then we had a higher low here, and we could be then creating another higher low, and then away we go again. So that's what either scenario I see a move up towards 40,000, but how that happens is obviously the question mark. Now we're in such a bullish environment, and I don't believe we're nowhere near the top of the stock market for the overall big crash to happen. Last year wasn't the crash. That was just a freak out black swan event. That wasn't the real crash. The real crash, I believe, is a few years away at least. So that's where I see at least a 40,000 Dow, and I've had that number for quite some time, and I'm still sticking to that number there when it comes to the Dow Jones. So that's what I'm seeing there right now on the S&P 500. Looking at it now the Dow Jones, looking at the S&P 500, and we're just starting to break up and move up from there. So you can see we've actually had a very, very nice move to the upside from here to here. And now we're breaking up to all-time new highs. So it looks like to me that the S&P 500 is also starting to make a very nice move, and we may be just getting started to see that pretty crazy move to the upside, just like the Dow Jones is doing right now as well. So that's what we're seeing through there, guys. Just I wouldn't want to be fighting this market right now, meaning trying to buy put options or trying to pick a top here, because more times than what's likely to happen, guys, is we're likely to continue getting this stair-stepping phase towards a lot higher prices in the S&P, which is obviously equivalent to around about a 40,000 in the Dow. So that's what I'm seeing through there when it comes to the individual stock market, guys. So plenty of moves on the upside, guys. Take advantage of it. Just make sure you got a good trading setup, guys, because that's what it's all about, right? Yes, we see the market's likely to go up, and yes, I do see the Dow Jones is likely to go up, but just make sure you got some good trading systems. I'm running a flash sale right now just for $7 to my breakthrough course. I've got the foundations, amazing chart reading strategies, a couple trading systems, trade management and mindset. That's all in there. $7. You can actually grab it at johnsflashsale.com. You'll be able to grab that. And in that trading course, I teach you chart reading strategies. I teach you trading systems to take advantage of either bull or bear markets, but in this case, take advantage of this bull market. So when you're going through the individual stocks, start to take the chart reading patterns and training systems that I teach you in that $7 flash sale at johnsflashsale.com. Take those systems and start to apply it to the markets and start to reap the rewards. And just make sure you got your risk in place, guys. One of the hardest things for most traders to understand is that they're trying to make money on every trade. That's not the way it works, because it's just about having a system. The system has a win-loss ratio, except you're going to have losses, guys, and then move forward. Long term, you can absolutely kick ass. Moving over now through to the good old gold, and gold is continuing to be in a bit of a weak phase. Because look at this here, we're still making this high, making this lower high. Actually, let me bring up this chart, this one right here. There we go. So look at this here. So we still have a high, a lower high, a lower high. We're running down and we're having a bit of a pullback here, slight little pullback. I wouldn't be too surprised if we did see, this is a bit of a warning sign for the short term, to see us actually drop down towards 1600. And if we break 1600, or if we break this low level here, then on the weekly charts, I see, this is crazy, I know, but the next major support level is down there around 1450, 1500. Gold could do that. Now, guys, don't shoot the messenger. I was like, oh, John, that's not going to happen. Anything can happen, right? Guys, I'm long-term bullish with gold right now. Long-term bullish. But on the short term, it's not looking too good, right? But what happens right now, at the end of this year, that could be a completely different situation. That's where, like, my position is many years, so I'm not really too scared about or too frightened about what's happening right now. I'm just reading the markets, and hey, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just sending the message to you about what the market's telling me right now. So you can see continuing on flowing on the downside, guys. So just be careful. We start to roll over here. This could be getting ready for another drop. And moving over now through to silver, and silver's doing the exact same thing. Silver's been in this channel here for quite some time, around $28.50. We've had this resistance here. We've had a lot of support here as well too, as you can see, right? Look at this, all this support around this $50 level. And you can also see too that if I'm bringing up, let me actually bring up this chart here. Actually, this one right here, because I'm just removing the moving averages so I can clearly show you something here. Look what happened here. If I'm using a Fibonacci level, so far anyway, if I go from the absolute high point from there, point A, down to point B, because when you got to move down, you measure from the high down to the low. If you've got to move up, you measure from the low to the high. So in this case, we have a move down. So we have a strong move down. So we measure Fibonacci from the highs, and we bring it all the way down to the lows. And then we have here. So what are we looking at for the Fibonacci levels? Well, here's the thing. If silver does hold this 50% level, if it runs up like that and holds it, maybe even goes straight back above it just a little bit and then starts to roll over, that's a strong downward trend, and there's strong momentum in this downward movement right now. If we start to break above, say, 27 like that, then it's not really a weak trend, and we're going to probably stay in this overall sideways channel that we've been in for quite some time. But if we do hold these levels, and especially a sort of $26.50 and below, if we hold that and then we start to do something like that, and we break the $25 levels just like that, then there's a very strong chance we're about to get hammered in silver, and silver's about to go from $25 all the way down to $22, and I'd say that's likely to happen pretty quickly as well too, because it's like knocking on the door, right? It's like knock on the door, as you can see here. Knock on the door, knock on the door, knock on the door, or not. Actually, no, I'm going to use a different analogy. And again, guys, when it comes to the chart reading stuff I'm teaching right now, in that $7 trading course, I teach you all the different things about the chart reading stuff. And also make sure you watch that bullseye method video. That's really, really going to help you. If you're struggling in the markets right now and you're trying to see why you're not moving forward, go watch that bullseye video in that $7 trading course. You're going to absolutely love it. That's going to blow you away. That's actually the very first video out of like 12 videos or something like that. So anyway, just think about you have a sledgehammer, all right? You have a sledgehammer and you've got a brick wall. Sledgehammer hits it, nope, didn't do anything. 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 Coming back down, oh, it still didn't do anything. Comes back up, and then we break, and then it cracks. And guess what? What happens after the wall cracks? Now it's like a free for all, right? The whole brick wall here. This is supposed to be a brick wall, by the way. Brick wall, brick wall. Same here, 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 here. Guess what? Right, all comes crumbling down. So that's what it's like. What's happening right now, and this is this very weak pullback, guys. It's not looking good. I'm not saying it's definitely going to go down, but if we do start to roll over, there's massive warning in silver right now. So if you're short-term trading silver, you need to keep an eye on this, because a break below this support level is likely to see a strong fall in silver. Now, let's move over now to the warning sign that I'm seeing with the good old Bitcoin. Bitcoin. That's right. The Bitcoin. What I'm seeing right now when it comes to the good old Bitcoin, this is Bitcoin here, is this. If I bring up a chart here, and I'm going to bring up some indicators. Now again, guys, most of the time I don't like to use indicators, but sometimes they give you a bit of a warning sign on some weakness, some strength, and so on and so forth. Look what's happening right now. If we have a look at what's happening right now, every time we make a high, look at the RSI down the bottom here. Forget the stochastics. Actually, you know what? Let's do this here. I'm going to remove the stochastics here. I'm going to open up the RSI for a bit, and I'm just going to move that down, because the RSI is the main one that I want to share with you today. So if I see this, let's actually bring this up just a little bit more. Actually, you know what? Just forget that. I'll do that there. Look what's happening here. Every time we make a high, that's a high in the RSI. Then we made another higher high. Look at this here. Look how low that is. And now we make another lower high, and look how low that is here. So notice how we're getting stronger in the markets, but we're getting a clear markets moving up, but the RSI is actually moving down. That means the relative strength of the Bitcoin is getting slower and weaker and weaker and weaker. So if we start to get something like this, and it breaks down, and we get a break below this level here, then we could be getting the RSI coming back down to here again, and then we probably could be heading back down to at least that $30 level, maybe even more on Bitcoin. So guys, that is the warning signal that I'm noticing. Again, doesn't mean it's going to happen. Take that with how you want to ever do it. If you're in Bitcoin right now, just be open-minded to either possibilities happening. It can continue going up, but if we do start to roll over, here's a bit of an early warning sign that if we do start to roll over here, it could be the end of this bubble here, and we could be seeing a very, very, very sharp move. So let me know what you think in the chat box below. Is this the end of the bubble, and we're going to see the next crash in Bitcoin? Or do you think it's just going to keep going to 100,000? Guys, if you really need my help, then just make sure you go to johnsflashsale.com. Just for $7, you can get the trading course. I teach you in there. I've got the foundations to help you become a good trader. I've got chart reading strategies to help you read the charts, just like stuff that I'm teaching you right now. Also, there's a couple of good trading systems in there. Also, I teach you about the trade management and the mindset, all that sort of stuff. The 4 pillars that goes into what I call a successful trader: the foundations, the chart reading, the trading systems, mindset, trade management, and so on and so forth. Go to johnsflashsale.com. There should be a link in the description. And guys, I'll speak to you guys real soon.